Tonight, we're talking about something that most people mistake for a scheduling topic, but it's really metabolic strategy, and that is this concept of structure. Because structure isn't just about calendars and checklists. It's a framework that keeps your hormones, your glucose, and your habits in sync. Every time you walk into or fall into or slip into chaos, cortisol rises. That's the stress hormone. Every time cortisol spikes, blood sugars follow. And every time that cycle repeats, your body pays the price in fatigue, cravings, and frustration. That's right. And so, if you've ever wondered why you can start on Monday but crash by Thursday, it's not just discipline. It's not that your body is broken. It's biologically your body saying, I need some structure. It's begging for structure. When we build rhythm into our meals, into our rest, into our movement, we build biochemical predictability. And predictability is what your metabolism loves. So in tonight's Blueprints lessons, we're exploring how to turn the rhythm that we've learned about into reinforcement. How to build the kind of structure that makes healthy choices automatic and healing sustainable. Hey, if you're new to me, I'm Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications, go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living limitless lives. I'm here to empower you to take charge of your health and to get success in your health like you're getting in all other areas of your life. I want you to be around for those things that are so important to you, for the connections to your family and to your friends. We want sustainable, long-term health. Hey, if you're new to me, go ahead and put new in the comments because we love to welcome you with a hand clap and the music. And let you know that we are excited and we are happy that you are here. Whatever platform you're joining us from, whether that's on LinkedIn or Twitch or Twitter, here on Instagram, if you're here from Facebook, if you're here from, of course, here on YouTube, thank you for coming through and hanging out with us. And a special shout out to our accelerator members who are out there looking at us. Also, if you heard us, if you saw our content on your church's website, your church's stream, in your doctor's office, your community centers, any of those places, we're happy that you are here right now and that you are hanging out with us. We've got some good things we're going to take a look at here in just a minute. I've got my monitors that we're going to look at right off to my side. I've got my Keto Mojo and my Contour. And then, of course, we'll take a look at my blood sugars that's been happening over the last several days. Once again, if you are joining us for the first time, you want to make sure you get over to our YouTube channel, and on the channel you'll see two playlists. One is called Start Here. If you're interested in how to go about jumping in and getting involved in the things that we're doing and to walk along this path with us, that's the place that you would go, and that is the Start Here playlist. And then if you want to know what's going on this week, if you're interested in the topics for this week and the videos that we're doing for this week, go ahead and hop over and you will be there. It's called This Week's Videos, right? So those are two playlists that you'll see there on the screen, This Week's Videos, and you'll see the Start Here. One of the things that I'm very excited about is that we have our Move campaign that is ongoing. And remember, moving is a part of our health action plan. So let's go ahead and let's watch that promo right now. Welcome to Move, metabolic optimization via exercise. This isn't just about workouts. It's about moving your body, moving your habits, and moving your life forward. Each episode builds consistency, strength, and resilience step by step. I'm Dr. Dwain Woode, and together we're writing the story of health, transformation, and limitless living. This is Move. Let's get started. All right, all right. So move. Metabolic optimization via exercise. Our 7 pillar health action plan includes moving, remember, strength training and walking, 2 of those pillars. Later this week, we'll, of course, start our fasting, which will begin tomorrow. And here we are, right, talking about our mental mastery and all those other things that are part of that components of that plan. So make sure that you are joining us and jumping in. If you're pointing someone to the channel, pointing someone to the show, let them know that they should get over there and they will get to the Start Here playlist. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at what's going on with blood sugars. And let's start here. This is my Freestyle Libre, and you'll see right there my blood sugar. It says right now my blood sugar is 86, which is what you're seeing. And then scrolling down just right about here, you'll see that is my blood sugar that's been happening over the last 12 hours, according to this. You'll see there, I'm going to put my finger and kind of run over. You'll see there we're in the hundreds, 90s for most of the morning. And then right about here is where lunch started happening. And you see we jumped up to 141, 142 was the highest that I see there. And then, of course, started coming back down, into the low hundreds, and then into where we are right now. What I love about this is I can actually go over and I could change and look at different reports. And one of the reports I love to look at is my time in range. And here you'll see I'm 92% in range over the last 7 days. And down below, you'll see 8% that have been low. And those typically happen when I'm fasting, right? So between 92 and 8%, I'm in range or low for 100% of the time. If I look at the 14-day average, 88% in range, 30-day average, 85% in range, and then of course the 90-day average, 87% in range, and then down below you'll see there 13% low. Let's get out of that report and get into this one, and you'll see there this is my average for the last 7 days, 96% or 96. Right here is my average for the last 14 days, average for the last 30 days, and then average for the last 90 days, 89. And I love this part of the graph because it allows me to look at what's been going on at different times of the day, right? So I can make adjustments to my day based on what I see there according to those blood sugars, all right? Now let's get out of this one, and we're gonna go over and see what my Dexcom G7 is saying. And right here you see my current blood sugar is 81. And then down below, if I look at my 24-hour period, well, let's look at the 12-hour because that's what we saw earlier. It gives us a bigger view of it. And so here we are. You'll see those in the 80s and 90s. And as you know, the Dexcom tends to be a little higher than the Freestyle, but look at that. They were actually tracking pretty close to each other, 70s and 80s, and then the Dexcom said I went up as high as, what's that? I saw, was it let's see, a 32, 40, 144, 155, and then coming back down into where we are right now. So that's what I love about the Dexcom and the Libre. So scrolling down a little bit here, the Libre gives me, or the Dexcom gives me a summary, just like we would see on the report that you saw down below on the screen a little while ago. My average over the last 14 days, 106, and I'm going to go to the 90-day average, 115. Right? We tell people we want their blood sugars to be between 100 and 120, and so that's right in keeping with that. And then that number right below, that 6.1, would be my glucose management indicator, which says that if I were to get an A1C based on these numbers, that's what my A1C should approximate. Okay? Now, we can't call it an A1C because it's a calculated number, but I would expect that to be around that. If you've not seen the show that we did, wow, this was now several months ago, where I actually showed what my labs were based on when I went to see my doctor, and we reviewed all of those labs, my CMP, CBC, my microalbumin, my testosterone, my thyroid levels, my kidney function, liver function, sodium, potassium, calcium. We went through that entire gamut of labs. So if you've not seen that yet, go back and watch that, because that's a good one for you to begin as you're thinking about your metabolism and the things that you need to have checked and the things you need to keep track of. That is a great show for you to watch, okay? All right, so now let's go ahead and let's hop over, and I want to take a look at what's going on with my monitors. Here is my Contour, and then here's my Keto Mojo. The Keto Mojo gives me a blood sugar and a ketone, and then this guy gives me blood sugar. So let's go ahead and let's see, what do we want to do? Let's do this. So get in here, and we're going to grab a strip for the Contour. I need a ketone strip for the Keto Mojo and a blood sugar strip for the Keto Mojo, and I need some test strip or some Lancets. Let's get that up over here. All right, and let's go ahead and get a strip out for, this is for the Contour. Let's get that in there. And I'm going to put these off to the side for just a minute as I open up. This is my Keto Mojo. This is the strip for glucose. Get that one in. And at the same time, I'm going to go ahead. Oh, that gives me an error. So let me go ahead and grab that out for a minute. I think these strips. Okay, there you go. And let's go ahead and open this one out. And this is the one for my ketone. So what do you think my ketones are going to be? I'm going to put this off to the side just so we have it there all ready to go when we do that finger stick. And as you know, I don't use a Lancet or Lansing device. I just use a Lancet. So open this up, and this is the finger that we've been kind of picking on. So let's go ahead and get it poked there. And ow, ow, ow. That should give me a pretty brisk drop. Let's get that started. Get this one started. And let's go ahead and put this back up so we can see what's going on between the two. So 93 for the Contour, 92 for the Keto Mojo, and let's go back here. And 80 is what my Dexcom is saying. And let's go ahead and let's look at this guy. So 83, all right? So 80, 83, 92, 93 is what we're seeing from those. And let me go ahead and change this out because I don't want to have to stick myself again. And of course, let's see. This is going to make me work for it. All right, here we go. Let's get this one in. And this is for ketones. So what do you think my ketones are going to be? So we've not been fasting since we broke our fast last week. Get that started. There we go. And so if you think you know, go ahead and drop that in the comments. We've had one of our community members that's been pretty on point the last several times. 3, 2, 1, and low. There we go, low. Okay, so when we talk about ketones, remember ketones that are, let's go back over here. So ketones that are less than 0.5 considered normal, 0.5 to 1.5 considered nutritional ketosis, and above 1.5 considered therapeutic ketosis. And right now I'm in the normal range. If you are in a ketogenic state, or you're eating a ketogenic diet, or you're doing a fasting mimicking diet, or you are fasting with the intention of going into ketosis, you want ketones that are 0.5 or higher, okay? So 0.5 or higher. So right now we're in the normal range, which is low, because I'm not fasting and I'm not eating a ketogenic diet. All right, so let's go ahead and let's say hello to some of our community members. I see you guys out there. Let's hop over here, and I see Gian says hello. Hi, Doctor and LLG. Hey, Gian, thank you for coming through. Steve, what's up, my man? Steve said, hello, friends. Gion's guessing 0.3, and Gian, so we were lower than 0.3. Right? And hi, Steve. Jennifer is saying hello to everybody. And hi, Jennifer from Gian. Hi, Dr. Steve, Gian, LLG. And hi, sis. Pamela says, hello, everybody. What's going on? Cornelia says, my guess ketones will be low, hopefully higher, of course. Yes. Hi, Pam from Gian. Hey, Cornelia. Cornelia saying hi to Pam. Great job, sis. Thank you. Jennifer, awesome, Cornelia. Oh, I think, did I miss Cornelia? She says, my guess... hopefully higher. Okay, no, I did read that properly. Thank you. Jennifer says, awesome, Cornelia. Hi, Jennifer. Thank you. I assume doctor had Cadbury. LOL. No, I did not have Cadbury. Did not have Cadbury. What did I have? Oh, you know what I had? I had rice. Steve, I had rice. That's right. And the rice actually caused my blood sugar over the weekend to spike higher than it has been in the last 9 months. I think I got up to 192 or something, Steve. My goodness. It was jasmine rice, by the way. Hello. Hi, Cornelia and Steve. Gian says, I love that. Hey, doctor and everyone from Teresa. What's up, Teresa? Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Pam said hi, Jennifer, and hi, Teresa, from everybody. Awesome. Yeah. So that rice was no joke, y'all. I mean, it was. So we had to, we had to quick. I made some. What did I make? I made, I made some fried rice. That's what I did. That's right. I made fried rice. All right. So let's go ahead and let's hop over and let's go and let's have a conversation about our topic. If you're there, if you have questions, go ahead and I'm just getting something ready on this side here. Go ahead and drop questions in. Make sure you put a Q in front of those so that we know that that's a question that we need to get to. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get over to our conversation. And let's make sure this camera is doing right. Okay. And here we go. All right. So have you ever noticed how some weeks feel effortless and others feel like you're pushing through mud? Yeah. You start Monday and it's strong. And as you get through the week, plans are in place, the meals are prepped, you even schedule your walks. And then Wednesday hits and you have a late lunch, maybe a meeting that runs over, a missed meal, sleepless night, going to see the doctor, and all kinds of stuff happens that they tell you. And suddenly everything that you built begins to wobble. That's what kind of happened to me this past week, the last couple of weeks. Yeah. That's not a character flaw. It's a design issue. Because motivation can start momentum. Rhythm can sustain it, but only structure makes it stick. That's right. Only structure makes it stick. When we rely on willpower alone, we're depending on emotion, and emotion is the least stable energy source that we have, because emotions will change. So I went to the doctor last week, and we had to do some procedures on my eyes. And so I come home, right? So interesting week, to say the least. And I come home, and of course I'm in the house. I'm off schedule. And I decided that this was a perfect time for me to make some fried rice. So I went in there. Now, I hadn't had rice in a long time, right? So I figured, hey, I'm in my feelings now. I can't really see much. My eyes are blurry. I can't sit at the computer and do what I do, right? And so what do? Well, I'm just sitting around. I'm off schedule. I'm off, and emotions are there. And so I had to work through the very things that we talk about. Walking through the COPE model. Clarify, observe, pause, and execute. You know you're not hungry. What are you feeling? What's going on? Let's pause for a minute and let's do something else. The heat model. What are those things that are pressing my buttons at the time? Emotions are there. Structure, on the other hand, is stable. It's predictable. It's actually protective. It's the scaffolding that holds the design. It's what holds the success steady, even when life shifts beneath our feet. So what I want to do is I want to show you how to design a structure that supports your health automatically. A structure that protects what motivation starts and transforms success from something you chase to something you live in. If your success depends on power, it's fragile. But if it rests on structure, then it is unstoppable. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about motivation. When motivation fades, design remains. So let's look at why structure is more than organization. It's actually biology. When you design structure into your life, you're aligning with how the brain and the body actually function. There are 3 key scientific principles at work. Ready for them? Number 1 is this concept of decision fatigue. Every choice uses glucose, the same fuel that your brain needs to focus. Self-control and creativity. That's the energy that we're using. Without structure, your brain burns energy. It's on a constant wheel, constant small decisions. By 5 p.m., at the end of the day, you're not weak, you're depleted because you've been making those decisions. This is this idea of decision fatigue. Structure removes that load. It removes the friction. You decide once, you design once, and you conserve energy for what matters because you don't have to make those constant choices all the time. Number 2, dopamine is predictable. Your brain rewards you for completion. When your schedule and your actions are predictable, your dopamine system learns to expect success because that's what we have. That sense of flow. It's not luck. It's chemistry responding to design. And then 3, cortisol. As you know, cortisol is that stress hormone. It rises in uncertainty. When things are not sure, when things are not clear, your mind is unsettled. Your body is unsettled. And structure brings order. Order signals safety because the body, the brain says, I don't have to worry because we know what's about to happen. And when your environment feels predictable, when it feels controlled, cortisol calms and your blood sugars stabilize. That's not theory, it's physiology. It's how the body works. So now that you've learned how to sustain your structure, let's talk about how that same structure sustains you. Because structure doesn't limit your freedom, it actually preserves your energy. So let's talk about 3 layers of structure. 3 layers of structure. Number 1, there is this concept of the environmental design. So often when I'm talking to patients, I'm talking to clients, and even in my own life, right? This idea of what's going on around us, influencing us, always comes in. Because nobody wakes up every day and thinks, you know what, today I'm not going to do anything for my health. Today I'm going to do everything I possibly can do to make my health worse, or my blood sugars go up, or to put on more weight. That's not what we do. But the things in our environment shape what happens. So our environment shapes what goes on in us. That space that you're in, it helps to shape you. Your environment is your silent coach. What you see is what you'll do. If healthy food is visible, you'll eat it. If your workout space is ready, you'll move. If the phone charger lives beside your bed, you'll get distracted. That's right. What you see is what you do. So make your space an ally. Pause. Make the space an ally. Here's some practical examples. Keep your walking shoes near the door. Sounds simple. Prep for Balanced Bites meals on Sunday. Sounds simple. Get an accountability partner that's going to come and pick you up. That's going to say, hey, let's go do the thing that we said we wanted to do. Sounds simple. Keep water at your desk and sugar snacks out of sight. In fact, keep snacks away altogether. Number 1, your environment. Number 2, system design. So turn good intentions into routines. Systems are simply repeated cues that make success automatic. So you want to build anchors into your day. For example, start your day with walking, one of the pillars of the Health Action Plan. The same 20-minute walk, the same time, at the same morning. If that doesn't work, and you've been with me as we've walked through our 100-day walk to consistency and our strength training, right? There were times where I did that late at night, at lunchtime. Plan that part of what you're going to do is going to be walking. It may be in the morning, it may be at night, it may be in the afternoon, but today I'm going to walk. It is a part of what I do. That is a system design. If you can do it every morning, let's do it. Link your fasting window to a consistent eating schedule. I'm pausing because often it is because of the erratic nature of how our schedules are that throws us off course. If you've been following, you know that we fast on the same day for the same period every week. So link your fasting window to a consistent eating schedule. Use your rest pillar, rest and recovery, by setting an evening alarm for winding down, not just to wake up. Let me say it again. So don't just set a wake-up alarm, set a going to sleep alarm. The rhythm of your day becomes the rhythm of your hormones. Structure creates predictability. Predictability creates peace, creates calm. Calm lowers cortisol. Cortisol lowers sugar. Sugar lowers insulin. Boom. Metabolic alignment. right? So environmental, system design, and then social design. Engineer accountability and identity. What does that mean? No structure is complete without community. Even the best system collapses in isolation. That's why support networks, whether it's family, faith, or the limitless living community, are part of our architecture. It's part of who you are. It's part of what you need to be successful. Accountability doesn't control you, it confirms who you are becoming. Because there is community that empowers, that encourages you as you move. So environment shapes behavior and community sustains it. Now, let's talk about the future of what we need. Now that the 3 layers of structure you understand, your environment, your systems, and your support, but stability alone isn't the goal because life moves, seasons shift, yeah? Schedules change. And if your structure can't move with you, can't change with you, it eventually breaks under the weight of your rigidity and the weight of life. That's why I want us to revisit this concept that we've been talking about, the inner design loop, the IDL, the inner design loop. Because inner design loop is the rhythm inside every sustainable structure. It's how you make sure that systems you build today still serve you tomorrow. Yeah. There are 3 components, 3 moments, 3 movements that are part of the inner design loop. They are anchor, align, and adapt. Anchor, align, and adapt. And they each play a vital role in our health and in how we improve what we're doing. So let's walk through those together. So anchor. The anchoring has to do with the foundation because every structure needs a foundation. Think of a building that's going up. There is the base, and I see them, they're building, like crazy here near where I am. And it's not uncommon for me to walk by a field and see them excavating, and they've taken stuff out. And then all of a sudden, I see them putting up some forms, and they're pouring cement, and they're putting iron rods in there, right? What are they doing? They are building the foundation. Because every structure needs a foundation. Anchor, your anchor, answers the question, what truly matters to me? Remember, anchoring. So the inner design loop is another way of looking at our rhythm, alignment, and structure. It is the functional part of that. It is the thing that helps you to identify and solidify those. So when you anchor your structure to your purpose, it doesn't depend on the mood or the motivation. It draws power from meaning. You hear me say, we educate, we empower, we encourage. And I'm empowering you to have success in your health, just like you're having in other parts of your life, so that you can show up for the things that are most important to you. Those things that are most important to you, family, friends, community, anchor. The why. Because when motivation goes and when the emotions come and the mood changes, you got to draw power and strength from somewhere. That anchor becomes your stabilizer in stress. It becomes your compass in chaos. Number 2 is alignment. Alignment says that it helps you to bring your actions in line with your purpose. Are the things I do on a daily basis consistent with where I say I want to go and the things I say that are most important to me. Alignment is where the pieces click. It's when your beliefs, your behavior, and your biology all move in the same direction. This is the daily rhythm that turns your structure into flow. When your structure aligns with your why, it stops feeling like discipline. Or it stops feeling like it's a punishment. And it starts feeling like it's a design. So we anchor, we align, and we adapt. When life changes, like it does for me, and it has for me, and it has for you, adjustment needs to happen. We need to adjust the structure and not the mission. The goal is still the same, but how we get there and what we put in place to get us there changes. Adaptation is what makes structure flexible instead of fragile. I often say sometimes, we have storms here where I live. And sometimes I am amazed after a storm to go outside and I'll see a little tree, right? That I thought for sure that tree was going to come down. That's still standing. It may be a little bent, but it's still up. And I'll look down the block and I'll see this big, massive tree that I knew for sure was going to weather the storm. And that tree is down. And when I talk to people about structure and form and strength, they say, yeah, it's great to be that strong and solid. But when something happens, if you're not flexible, the wind will actually blow you over. And so adaptation, it's how you edit your systems when circumstances shift. When the winds are blowing, adaptation allows you to change. That's what turns temporary efforts into lifelong mastery. So let me give you an example. So I told you that I've had some things going on in me with my life personally, right? And so with my vision. And so I'm sitting here over the weekend and I'm thinking, okay, how do I get the things done that I need to get done? Because, the lights are bright and, I can't really see as well as I was because things are still fuzzy based on what they did. And so I had to change what I did or how I work. And so the lights are dimmer. I've got, and I'm here in my studio and talking, and you have to change the background on my screens. And so I had to adapt. I've got a different device that I'm using in front of me right now. So the goal didn't change. The plan didn't change. How we did it had to change. So your anchor is your purpose. Your alignment your actions need to be aligned, and we adapt the system. That's how the inner design loop works. The pattern that helps keep your structure from getting stale, your progress from collapsing. Here's what's amazing. Your body already lives by this principle. Biologically, we call it homeostasis. Your cells are constantly anchoring, aligning, and adapting with maintenance because they're trying to get balance. They're always moving to sameness. They're always moving to keep within a certain parameter. That's why when you go get blood work, right, they give you the range. Say it should be in this range because that's where the body is going to try to keep it. When blood sugars rise, insulin aligns. When stress increases, cortisol goes up. When rest deepens, growth hormone happens, and it helps to restore. Your physiology already knows how to follow this loop. You're just learning to mirror the same wisdom in your daily structure. So remember, structure is important. Strong structures don't resist change. They adapt through design. So now that you understand how to keep your structure alive, let's talk about how to let it hold you, because structure isn't about control, it's about care. When you build systems in a design loop that support your health, you're not restricting yourself, you're actually protecting yourself. You're practicing self-compassion through design. So now that you've learned how to sustain your structure, let's talk about how that same structure sustains you. And that is how we show compassion. So structure is compassion. So let's bring that home. I want you to take a second. I want you to think about one area in your health that still depends on willpower. Think about it. Maybe it's your meal planning. Maybe it's your sleep. Maybe it's saying no to snacks after 8 p.m. Maybe say no to Cadbury. Now ask yourself, what structure could carry this for me? People say, I'm going to will it. I don't want you to add effort. I want you to add design. Because when you design your environment and your systems, you're practicing self-compassion, not self-control. I want you to listen. We're practicing self-compassion. I don't want you to white knuckle it. I want you to pick one action, one area, and I want you to build one structure around it. Lay out your clothes tonight. Pre-log your meals. Schedule your next fast. You're not just doing something, you're designing success. Yeah. And discipline will fade, y'all. But structure lasts. Design it once, and it serves you for life. Yeah. So let's design for ease, not for effort. I want you to take a deep breath. So we started today by recognizing that motivation may start momentum, but only structure can sustain it. We learned that structure saves energy, stabilizes hormones, and it turns effort into ease. We built a framework, environment, systems, support, right? Those three. So now it's time to live inside your design. Pause. It's there. It's there now. We understand the why. We understand what happens. Because every structure you build is a promise that you're keeping to your future self. One of the things that my wife does when she talks to her clients is she says, what will your future self say to you? What would your future self say to you if they could talk to you now? What would your future self say to you if they could tell you something right now? Do they say, hey, thank you for making that decision? Because look at us now. We're healthy and we're here. That's what we want the future self to say. So now, right now, ask yourself, where can I replace effort with design? That's where freedom begins. In our next episode, we'll talk more about the design, right? The blueprints. And we'll move into energy by design, how structure fuels your strength and your spirit. But for now, remember, structure protects what motivation starts. Systems turn success into stability. And you're the architect of both. So design the life, build the health, and live limitlessly. That is the goal. That's what we want. So let's recap the blueprint that we built. Motivation starts the spark. Rhythm keeps the beat. But structure protects it all. Structure saves energy. Structure builds peace. And structure turns chaos into clarity. So remember the question for you. Where can I replace effort with design? I want you to start there. That's your one domino. Because when that domino goes down, all the others will follow. That's the one domino. And next time we move from structure and we move to energy. And remember your takeaway, right? Your takeaway is this: that structure protects what motivation starts. Systems turn success into stability. You've got the blueprint. Now build the life and live limitless so that you can be successful and so you can be around for all those things that are so, so important to you in your life. All right. And you guys know what I'm going to say, right? So that's one of my favorite conversations. So what you just learned about structure doesn't stop at organization. It lives inside your biology. So when your days have order, your body finds peace. Cortisol stays in rhythm instead of spiking in chaos. Right? Insulin becomes more responsive. Sometimes I've heard people say to me, well, I don't know what happened. I didn't eat any differently than what I normally eat, but my blood sugars just seemed to be out of control. I couldn't control them. That's because your insulin becomes less responsive. And when there is structure, it becomes more responsive, guiding blood sugars smoothly instead of in waves. Sleep deepens, and growth hormone repairs what stress once broke. Remember, that's why we talk about fasting workouts, because growth hormone helps to restore and helps to maintain muscles. When there's structure, energy rises because your body is no longer wasting fuel putting out fires. Do you know how much energy you waste and how much time we waste when we're tired? I've been sitting here sometimes and I'm reading something over and over and over. Why? Because I'm tired, I'm fatigued, and my brain just can't put it together. Remember, structure is actually medicine for the body. It's the rhythm that your hormones recognize, the predictability that your metabolism depends on, the calm that your mind has been asking for. That's why every single pillar in the Health Action Plan rests on structure. I want you to think about it. Walking, balanced bites, strength training, fasting, resting and recovery, mental mastery, and of course, structure and planning. Each one thrives when your systems and your routines protect them. So as you move through this week, notice the quiet power of design. Just take one day. One day and say, today, I'm going to live by design. Notice how your environment, your timing, and your rhythm are working with your body, not against it. And see how you feel at the end. It's not about doing more. It's about allowing your structure to hold what matters most, and that's your health, your focus, and your future. Remember, the two most valuable things that we own are our time and our health. Are we managing our time well? And are we doing the best that we can for our health? Because the truth is, the healthiest people aren't the most motivated. They're the most structured. They've built a design where health happens by default. So keeping that design is great for the health. Keep designing your health. Keep building your rhythm, and keep living in the structure that sets you free. As we talk about energy next time, we'll talk about how that design that you've created, right, that we've been walking through, how it becomes an engine that powers your metabolism and powers your mindset. One of the exercises that I have people do is just to take a few minutes a day. Doesn't have to be much. 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And pause. And just think, am I doing for myself today what I need to be healthy? And that may be your one thing, right? Where you're replacing effort with structure. Just that moment of pause triggers the mind, triggers the brain, and says, hey, yeah, I am working on being in a safe space. And my metabolism likes that. My brain likes that. My heart rate likes that. My blood pressure likes that. My blood sugar likes that. Just a pause. So where can you replace effort with structure? That's what I want you to be looking at as you move through the rest of this week. Okay? All right, so let's get back over and let's see. I see some of our community members out there. Let's see. Oh, somebody's talking about rice. Let me go back up. Let me catch the rest of that conversation. Let's see. Where are we? Okay, we saw Teresa came in. Pamela, hi Teresa. Cornelia, jasmine rice is so good too. Yes, it is, Cornelia. Cornelia, we're kindred spirits. We like the same things. I'm pushing through mud. Joanne said, I'm pushing through mud. I almost bought Cadbury over the weekend. They have a Black Forest cake flavor. Do not, Cornelia. Okay, so what don't. I was going to ask you to tell me the store. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Okay. Gion said, I really want to try that, sis. Pamela says, rice is very bad for me and apparently for you too. Yes, it was. Me too, Pam. So Steve, and that's why I said Steve, because Steve has commented. Steve and I have commented about this before, about the spikes that we get in rice. And it is so crazy that I've eaten things that had so much more sugar, like Cadbury. Okay, I'll just add a minute. So I've eaten Cadbury, and it did not spike my blood sugar as high as that serving of rice that I had. That's amazing. Steve said, I love chili and rice, but I can't have it. Yeah, chili and rice, that sounds good, Steve. And then... Yeah. So rice is yeah, it's a thing. So right, and so recently I have actually if you guys saw when I did the cauliflower rice, I forgot which show that was, but anyway, go back. It's on the channel. When I did the cauliflower rice, that was my attempt to do an alternative. And I've made the cauliflower pizza also, right? So that's a good another one. We did the mushroom steaks with the cauliflower rice. That was a good one. And so I could have done that, but we didn't have any cauliflower. And like I said, the heat model was pushing at me. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to do this. And yeah, it showed up. It showed up. It showed up in the process. So yeah. So y'all, so it is. I want you to pause here for a minute, and I want you to think through where we are. Right? And this is a great place for me. Go ahead and put this up. I want you guys to think through where we are. So educate, empower, encourage. What does that mean? As we've walked through the health action plan, we walked through play your own game. We've walked through accelerator. We've walked through finish strong, right? So all of those series that we've done. And we've done the fasting. And those of you who've been with us for a while, you've kind of walked through that. If you're new to us, go back and watch those series that we've done leading up to now. And the whole idea with blueprints is come the new year, the beginning of the new year, a lot of people are going to be scrambling about what they're going to do about their health. They're getting treadmills, they're joining gyms, they're getting personal trainers, they're going through that whole process. And all of that is amazing. All of that is great. I want everybody to be thinking about their health. I don't want you scrambling at the beginning of the year about what you're going to do. Let's create the blueprint for what is going to be the journey that you're taking starting now, so that you've already hit the ground running. And when the new year starts, it is just another part of the process, because you already have in place the base. We just talked a little while ago about the foundation, right? The anchor, right? Remember talking about that in our discussion? But the foundation for what you're going to do for your health is the blueprints. The concepts that are going to maintain, the concepts that are going to help you to be successful, the concepts that are going to help you to push, I don't want to say push through, to continue going when life happens. I was sharing with our community member in our shout out yesterday that as I've been kind of walking through the things that are happening with me over the last several weeks, what kept me going through that was the structure that's here, the structure that I've created, the structure that we are walking through. And you heard me mention the COPE model: clarify, observe, pause, and execute. Understanding what was happening with me. The HEAT model. Those things have to be things that you are practicing when it's not in the time when you need to apply it. That's great to have the time where you can apply it. But let's work on putting it in place. Let's work on practicing it. Let's work on the concepts. Let's work on the behavior. Because many of you who are watching and listening, you've had successes in the past. You've lost weight in the past. You've had good blood sugar. You've been off of your medications in the past. But it was not sustained. We're not looking for up and down. We're looking for something that is going to sustain us into the future. Because as you heard me say, I want you to be around and healthy for the things that are most important in your life. The successes that you're having in your other aspects of your life, your career and so forth, I want you to have that same success in your health. And that's what Blueprints is all about. And so we educate, we empower, and we encourage. We educate with the shows, with blogs, with the podcast. We empower with the tools that we're learning. And we encourage with the community that you are building and that you're a part of. We educate, we empower, and we encourage. And we encourage you, particularly as we are moving through this space, when you get success, when you see benefits, don't keep that to yourself. Share it with your community. There are and this is a great point to be made right here, right now, because this is Diabetes Awareness Month. Over 38 million people in the United States with diabetes. Over 500 million around the planet with diabetes. Pre-diabetes, over 95 million people in the United States. And when we add that around the world, there are over 1 billion with a B, people on the planet right now who are suffering from diabetes or pre-diabetes. And you can make a difference for yourself. You can make a difference for your community, for your children, for your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, your parents. You can make a difference for your community, the people around your block, at your church, at your community center. You can make a difference. And it begins right here. Because my goal is to help you to have those same successes here in your health like you're having everywhere else. And that's why you hear me say I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, go to the next level, create the life you've always wanted. Yeah. Show up for yourself so that you could be around to wrestle with the grandkids, teach them to fish, walk your daughter down the aisle, see your son take his right place in the world. All the things that you do, all the wonderful richness that is part of you, how do we give that to other people if we're not here and if we're not healthy? That's the goal. But I love being here, love being in this community, love being in this space with you because I'm seeing all of the benefits, all of the success that you guys are having and the successes that I'm having myself by being a part of this community. We will do our pop-up tomorrow as we start our fast for this week. We'll do our check-in Wednesday night for 33 hours, pop-up on Thursday, and then check-in 56 hours on Thursday night, and then our complete review of fasting as we get to the end of the week. And we continue to do that. That's our goal. That's our plan. This is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications, go to the next level, and create the life you've always wanted. Have the success in your health like you're having everywhere else, and show up for those things in your lives that are most and so important. Let's go ahead and we're going to watch this Move campaign promo, and then we'll be out of here. Good night, everybody. We'll see you in the community, and we will see you in our check-ins. For our community members, that link will show up just a minute in the community area. We'll see you after the show. Welcome to Move, metabolic optimization via exercise. This isn't just about workouts. It's about moving your body, moving your habits, and moving your life forward. Each episode builds consistency, strength, and resilience step by step. I'm Dr. Dwain Woode, and together we're writing the story of health, transformation, and limitless living. This is Move. Let's get started.